20, 30 years from now, if you were to tell someone that kids used to dress up as wizards, that girls used to make earrings out of radishes, and that they would line up outside a bookstore for hours, hours, maybe even overnight, to get the latest in a book series, they would spit in your face. They would call you a liar and an old man, and they would spit in your face. They'd probably pull down your pants and point at your little dick. But I remember those times. They were real. They were real times. Now I never dressed up as a wizard or anything like that. But I did get a few of those books the day that they came out. And I did get the seventh and last book delivered to me at my college dorm when I was going to art school, which was a complete waste of time and money. But I grew up with Harry Potter, and I was thinking the other day about really just how lucky I was and how sort of crazy it is in hindsight that people got as that they created so much energy around it as they did. And I've been playing the stock market lately, so I'm starting to associate like every event that happens with a little line that goes up and down on a graph. So something good or positive happens, the numbers go up and the line goes up. Something bad happens, the line goes down. And I think I can trace the sort of the dipping point of when literacy really started to drop off, or I could sort of calculate the last hurrah of books or literature or whatever. And so the pinnacle is obviously, or the last hurrah, or whatever you want to say, is obviously those. However long was it? Like a decade? However long it was between books. That was probably the last real, I don't know, the last real time that something special happened around a book that I can remember. And I think it was when the movies started coming out. I was never so much a fan of the movies. I really don't think they added anything. It was when the movies started rolling out that I think the idea of books as themselves was transformed into books as IPs. And sort of the idea that the book is just sort of the seed and sort of the advertising point for whatever toys, video games, movies come out afterwards. What was I gonna say? Post Harry Potter, I think, also started probably the worst trends of books today. Harry Potter probably started it, and then I don't know, something like the Hunger Games, I guess, probably cemented it. Hunger Games and Twilight. But at the time, the sort of cross-generational appeal of Harry Potter sort of seemed natural. I think it still does. I haven't read them in years, but I imagine if I did, it would probably still hold up. And I wouldn't really, I read the first one. Again, I sort of grew up with it. So I read the first one when I was, I don't even know, 11 or 12 maybe. Read the last one when I was in college. But even reading the last one, it never really felt that I was sort of, I don't know, being adolescent. Never really felt like I was, I don't know, reading beneath me. I guess maybe it was the size of the books. Maybe the big meaty hardcovers added the gravitas at the time, as a more adult reader. But again, I think going back and reading it today, I would still probably like it. But then years later, I was working at a bakery, and my coworkers were recommending to read The Hunger Games. I said, okay, I'll do that. Read the first one, and it was fine. And then I read the other two, and they were just kind of the same thing. And I did have that feeling that I was just sort of like reading a kid's book. And I think those really cemented the trend of reading, I don't know what you would call it, just easy books. That's probably not the best word because, a difficult book isn't necessarily good. An easy book isn't necessarily bad. But let's just say, I think this started the trend of sort of comfortable reading. Reading that's sort of more associated with just, I don't know, just sort of passive. A sort of passive type of literature, passively consumed. And, which I don't really, it's hard. Reading books takes me fucking forever. I've been reading The Brothers Karamazov. It's got to have been going on 6 months now. And it's not a passive experience for me. Like, I have to make the time. I have to allocate the energy. I have to, I don't know. I don't know. Is that snooty? Is that fucking snooty to say that everybody who's reading whatever generic YA girl power book that they should be reading Dostoevsky? That's not what I'm saying necessarily. It's not what I'm saying. But I don't know. Again, it's sort of there's this trend of sort of books as content mills, as mass appeal. Everything has to be sort of mass appeal. Everything is sort of under this curse of so like video games, for instance. They're so expensive. You have to sort of focus test to appeal to the widest amount of people. Movies are the same thing. Studios make fewer, more expensive movies that they know that they're gonna recoup their money. And you'd think that books would be less subject to that, but I don't see any real difference as far as what gets thrust into the limelight or whatever. I wish I'm not seeing the same amount of energy. Again, I'm not seeing the same amount of just like wide-eyed enjoyment of those wild west days of Harry Potter. I don't see. It just seems like a sort of the way an addict sort of needs their fix, and it sort of becomes less. They become more and more inoculated to it, and there's never been that sort of first hit. You're never gonna get that first hit ever again. I don't know. I don't think I'm really making a point anymore. I just think they were good days. There were good days to be a kid. There were good days to read books. And I can't imagine, again, if you were to tell someone 50 years from now that kids used to dress up in wizard costumes and waited in line for a book. Kids these days, they understand waiting in a digital line for your Fortnite rap concert. But a book, I'm going to spit in your face, old man. Spit in your face. Okay, this is the end of the video. Goodbye.